go again?
Oh, no, not again.
You've seen it before, haven't you?
Dumb, how long have we been doing?
Once more unto the breach. Dear friends.
Again and again and again until we're both dead.
Hello and welcome to You've Seen It Before, movie reviews and connections in mind. Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Grindelwald is the third in the Fantastic Beasts series, as well as the 11th overall in the Harry Potter Wizarding World franchise. It is directed by series regular David Yates, and stars once again Eddie Redmayne, Jude Law, and Mads Mikkelsen, among others. And continuing on from the last film, the evil wizard Gellert Grindelwald, this time played by Mikkelsen, is on the rise, posing a severe threat to both the Wizarding World and the Muggle world alike. And it is up to Dumbledore, who must stop his old friend Grindelwald from carrying out his plan, so he enlists the help of Newt Scamander and a team of others, including the Muggle Jacob Kowalski, in order to thwart Grindelwald's plans of world domination. Now, this video review will contain spoilers of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. I'll be doing my spoiler-free thoughts up front, but just so you know, there will be some spoiler thoughts and analysis later on in this review. But first, let's get into spoiler-free thoughts on Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Is it worth seeing? Is it a good sequel? Is it worth seeing in theaters, or is it worth just waiting until it comes out on HBO Max? I would say this is a much better sequel than Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, because if you look back at my review of that film, I did not like that one at all. It was, I dare say, it was trash to a certain extent. I mean, that one had so much, just lore building that was really unnecessary. And I mean, probably the biggest sin of all, there really wasn't any Fantastic Beasts. I mean, where are the beasts? That's what made the first film so fun. This film, however, I think is a much needed course correction. However, it doesn't go all the way back on track, in my opinion. This film does get some things right, namely, it does focus a lot more on Newt Scamander and him the team trying to do things. It has a fun sense of, it's almost a heist film sense to this, and yeah, really, I mean, the heart does lie with Eddie Redmayne first, and also Jacob Kowalski's second, because their dynamic is so great. It was what made the first film such a delight. And while it doesn't focus nearly as much as I wish it would on those two, I think quite simply that dynamic was sorely missed from the second film, and in this film you get it back. And really, even the new returning characters, such as Newt Scamander's brother Theseus. He's actually got some funness in here, even though I'd kindly forgotten he was introduced in the last film. Really, Mads Mikkelsen as Grindelwald also does a decent job replacing Johnny Depp in the role. And I think in interviews, Mikkelsen said he wanted to play it differently than Depp, which fair enough. And I think he does a decent job. He has I feel bad that Mads Mikkelsen is kind of a typecast as this villain role, because he is he does the whole sinister thing really well, and I think he does that. He does it really well in this film as well, along with all the other roles that he's played the villain in over the years. Really, where I think this film kind of drops the ball a little bit is, again, there is more Fantastic Beasts in this than the previous film, which I love. However, if you've seen the trailer, you've basically seen all the Fantastic Beasts associated with it. That's not to say the Fantastic Beasts elements aren't fun. They are. I mean, the crab creatures in the magic prison or whatever, I mean, those are really fun, and you get to see more of the Niffler thing, the little klepto porcupine thing. He's awesome. He gets more screen time in this one than I think he did in the last one, and the Bowtruckle. I think they kind of identified that the Bowtruckle, the little leaf lockpicker thing, and the Niffler were the two fan favorite creatures from the first film, and then they bring them back. So there's nothing wrong with that. Give me more of that. I think they do a good job. But like I said, all the best Fantastic Beasts scenes in the trailer or in the movie, or from the movie, or in the trailer, and there really isn't much else, which is kind of a shame. Because, like I said, give me more Fantastic Beasts. The series is called Fantastic Beasts. Give me more Fantastic Beasts. I don't think this should be that hard. Also, I think where it drops the ball is some of the characters, like there's one character who I guess he was in the second film, and he's just kind of there for this new one, and I have no real clue as to why he was here. Like, he plays essentially no part in this in the plot, really. And really, the other thing is they go out of their way to correct some of the weirder lore additions that they made in the second film, which is already a sign that on the one hand they're listening to fans saying, no, that made no sense, and on the other hand it's kind of like, no, we know that we're seeing this, like you're kind of walking things back a little bit. And some of them, yes, we knew what was going on, especially developments with Credence, Ezra Miller's character from the previous two films. We get to see his character develop a little bit more. But then again, most of the other things they walk back, they don't really add anything new to them. They just kind of walk them back, and then that's kind of it. And other magic that shows up in this movie is kind of confusing. Like the whole, there's the overarching event going on in this movie of the Wizarding World election, where I guess they're electing the Chancellor of the Wizarding World, the International Wizarding Committee, I guess is what they're basically what it is. And I wish they could have explained, like, how does that work? I mean, they kind of explain a little bit. Like, they give me one explanation, like, oh, this is how we used to do it, and then it's like, oh, but now we're doing it again? It's like, why are we doing this again now, even though it hasn't been like this for hundreds of years, I guess? Like, why? And then they drop little hints, like, oh, this place was the source of a lot of ancient magic. It's like, okay, it's like, dive into more, explain, oh, that's all we're gonna get? Okay, we're gonna move on? Alright. I mean, yes, I don't need this to be like the Wizarding World Wiki, but, focus on the interesting things and not the boring things, really. And, the other characters, like, they're in they show up for, like, I don't know, maybe a minute of screen time, and I think there's going to be some talk as to whether it's like, why was that, they were, like, why, just why? And I can't speak so much to that, other than just, it's interesting to see, it's like, okay, did they not, I can see why people would be angry that certain characters aren't in it more. I just don't see how they would fit in with the story as it was written, or given to us. So, all this is to say, if you loved the first Fantastic Beasts film, you thought it was a fun time, it was a fun little dive into the prequel, into the 1920s history of the Wizarding World, and then you were probably put off by the second film, Crimes of Grindelwald. Like maybe like me, you got really angry at it, or maybe you're just kind of like, oh wow, that was kind of forgettable. This film, I would say, it's a swing in the other direction back towards the first film, but it doesn't get all the way there. So, if I was going to give Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore a letter grade, this is a C. It's just a straight down the middle C. A C is basically all I can give, just because it's the letter grade equivalent of eh. So, I mean, if I was to the top of my original question, if you want to see it in theaters, great. I think there's some, there's some cool visuals in here that, and great sounding moments that would sound better on a big screen in a theater environment. But if you want to wait until this comes out on HBO Max, I would wait for that, honestly. So those are my main thoughts on Fantastic Beasts 3. Now let's get into some spoiler thoughts as to certain plot developments and character arcs that may seem familiar to you and where you may have seen them before. Now, there are a couple instances in this movie where it seems like a wizarding battle fight that happens and the Muggle world, the real world, is unaffected. Or just, it happens like in a dreamscape or whatever. One is when Dumbledore fights Credence. It looks like they're like in an alternate, they're like in a puddle or something, or maybe the fight was just a dream. That was really confusing. But it looks like I think they're in Berlin or something, and the block of Berlin, it seems unaffected. So maybe it was a dream. I don't know. The second time is when near the end when Grindelwald tries to kill Kowalski, and then the two Dumbledores shoot their counter spells, and then it hits like the triangle thing, and then Grindelwald and Dumbledore have a little wizard battle on the podium in the temple or whatever. And I'm assuming nothing happens because you could see spells ricochet and hit like stonework and it explodes, except when the fight ends, it doesn't look like any damage happens. It also looks like things are going on that like nothing ever happened, like nothing was happening. This made me think of kind of like the like Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home, or maybe like the mirror dimension from Doctor Strange, where you have these battles happening in like a pocket universe where all this crazy stuff can happen and it's not affecting the real world. Like I said, it's an interesting idea if they had explained it right. I don't think they explained it right because it was really confusing the couple times it happened. Also, the whole subplot with, I think it's called Chillin. I don't think it's Chillin or Krillin. I want to say Chillin, which is already a really weird name for this creature. It looks like it's not really that fantastic a beast. It looks like a deer essentially, but it's the magic creature that bows when it sees virtue. And I mean, you already had that shtick with Hippogriff in Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, but whatever. I mean, two creatures can have that same whole thing. I mean, the whole plot of him, like Grindelwald stealing this baby creature and killing it repeatedly so as to like brainwash it and to make it bow to him only, and that's his whole plan. Okay, whatever. It made me think of a couple episodes of Stargate. One from Stargate SG-1 season 6 titled Abyss, and one from season 5 of Stargate Atlantis entitled Broken Ties. Both have this element of dying and resurrecting, or having your life stolen away and give it back to you is a form of brainwashing or brain influencing, where you can then either one in SG-1 it was the gold ball, in Atlantis it was a wraith, where they're bending a character to their will. There's sort of that similarity going on there, which, alright, whatever. I think it worked better in the Stargate than it worked in here, but okay, cool. And, like I said, like, there are characters in here, like, Lita Strange's brother. Like, why was he here? There was no reason for that character to be there. You'd think, like, I was like, oh, you're not here to spy for Dumbledore, you're not here for betray him. But then he totally does betray him, and then it's like, okay, so you extracted the painful memories of his sister. Did that actually work? I mean, what's going on? And then, Queenie, like, gives Jacob the cold shoulder throughout the first half of the movie, or for like 2/3 of the movie. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, I can't eat that. I mean, it's too late for me. We gotta keep going. And that's like, no, it's not, baby. Oh, okay. It's like, well then why bring that up at all at this point, you know? It's like, I don't know. There were some weird choices in this movie, but like I said, not nearly as bad as Crimes of Grindelwald, but not nearly as good as the first Fantastic Beasts. What did you think of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What about my analysis? Do you agree, disagree? Did I miss anything? I probably missed something. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate whatever audience I can get. Be sure to look for my next movie review, which, if the schedule holds, I believe the next one will be for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which comes out May 6th. As well as my next TV review, which will be for overall Season 2 thoughts on Star Trek Picard. And if you like this video or any other video on my channel, please give me a like, share, and especially subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching, but just remember, there is nothing new under the sun, and yes, you have seen it before.